Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. What is going on? Canelo Alvarez comes out and he tells Salvador Rodriguez of ESPN Deportes, says the idea is to return in May with a tune-up fight to see how I feel and then get the rematch against Dimitri Bivol in September. That's the only thing I want for my career right now. So Canelo Alvarez is already uh, being direct. He wants to come back early next year of 2023, and he wants to fight a tune-up. Now people are speculating who that tune-up will be and this and that. I ain't gonna do all that. We're just gonna let this. We're just gonna let it ride out and see what happens and who that opponent will be. Right now, Canelo Alvarez, coming off of an injury, a surgery to his wrist, you know. So a tune-up is ideal, honestly. Obviously, coming off of an injury and surgery, you definitely want to get somebody in the ring, somebody that's uh, not a Dimitri Bivol, where you got to go in there and going straight at Dimitri Bivol, where you're gonna need every single ounce, everything in your body, and you don't even know if you're gonna be able to, if you're gonna break that hand again. So you might as well go in there with somebody that's, uh, a weaker opponent. You know what I'm saying? To test your hand out to see how you move inside of the ring, coming off of surgery. Taking time off, being on vacation. Things like that, and then having to, drain weight or make weight to fight again. He has to get back in rhythm. So I think it's correct. Canelo Alvarez coming back, getting a tune-up fight for Cinco de Mayo, and then September for Mexican Independence Day, he comes back and he fights Dimitri Bivol, which I think that it's going to be a very tough fight for Canelo Alvarez. But there are spots where he can beat Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol is a really good fighter. We just seen a guy like Zurdo Ramirez get inside of the ring with Dimitri Bivol, and it didn't look so good for Zurdo Ramirez, right? The Zurdo Ramirez that a lot of people thought that Zurdo Ramirez, with the amount of fights that he fought, the quantity of fights that he fought, with the experience that he was supposed to have, and this and that, and being bigger than Canelo Alvarez and still being a big puncher, that he was going to be successful against a Dimitri Bivol, which was not the case that night. Dimitri Bivol came out, he outboxed him, he stuck to his game plan, and he did what he was supposed to that night. Now, Canelo Alvarez, being smaller, we seen him gas out when he fought Dimitri Bivol at 175. Now, also, Dimitri Bivol wants to is thinking about going down to 168. He said it before. He wants to go down to 168 and fight for all the belts of undisputed. I thought that it wasn't the biggest, brightest idea for Canelo Alvarez to bring him down, because people will say, "Well, you brought him down and you beat him there. You got to beat him at his own game." So I feel like if Canelo Alvarez is gonna fight Dimitri Bivol, it should be at 175. I don't feel like he should be at 168, because the first initial fight was at 175. Make that fight at 168. Get the job done against him if you can get the job done against him at 175. And now, if you take the L, well, at least you was chasing greatness and you try to get that revenge back, but it just wasn't in your favor, right? And then stick to 168 where you look good at, and fight the guys that most fans want you to fight. And you have options like David Benavidez, who will be fighting Caleb Plant. You can even fight Caleb Plant again if David Benavidez loses to Caleb Plant. I mean, there's options for Canelo Alvarez. 168 is a very loaded division. I think that 168 will probably be ideal for Canelo Alvarez to stay at and to live at, because there's a lot of names that a lot of people are matching them up to at 168. You even got up and coming guys like David Morrell Jr., which a lot of people are interested in seeing a fight with him. You know, I think that right now with them, David Morrell only being 8-0, it'll be kind of hard for fans to digest that, because obviously if Canelo Alvarez goes in there and puts work on David Morrell and beats him, people are just gonna say he was just too young, too early, and it was not his time for him to get that fight. David Benavidez is ideal for all fans. I think that a lot of fans want to see the matchup. I think that a lot of fans are very interested in a fight with David Benavidez, and that would be a good fight for boxing as well. But ultimately, he does want the rematch against Dimitri Bivol, and I mean, I'm interested in what he's going to bring to the table the second time around. The second time around, I'm very interested in what he's going to bring to the table. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough battle. But there are things that he can adjust to. Him being the face of boxing, him being a fast learner and picking up things, new things, and learning new things very fast. I think that he can adjust and he can make those um, make 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 the right decisions that night. But he's gonna have to stay disciplined, and he can't get gassed out against a guy like Dimitri Bivol. It's definitely not gonna be in his favor. Dimitri Bivol is obviously a bigger guy, 6 foot something guy. He's bigger, stronger, faster. He's a boxer. He puts on a boxing clinic, so it's a lot of disadvantages that you have to overcome, and it's a lot of it's just a lot of it's gonna be a lot of disadvantages that Canelo Alvarez will have to overcome. But can he do it? Um, it's more on the slimmer chance, right? It's a more of a 30% chance that he can do it, right? And the reason why is because Dimitri Bivol is just that type of fighter. He's a really good fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very disciplined fighter. You know, he doesn't get out of character, right? He just doesn't get out of character. And I think he sticks to his game plan, and that's what he practices, and that's what he's really good at. Canelo Alvarez can exploit things from Dimitri Bivol, but it's yet to see. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified, and we out. Peace.